So last week on the Instagram poll, I put up as to whether you guys would want to see my Snickers spread, as I called it, or Snickers pudding. And it's really simple. It's nothing crazy. Some of you may already be doing it, but I think the poll had like 90% or 95% of people asking for it. So I thought I'd do a quick video to run you through it. So the first thing is obviously you need a protein powder. Now it does work with whey and isolates, but not as well. The king out of all of the powders that I've tested is by far Optimum Nutrition's casein. The flavor of it is perfect, and because it's a casein, it's slightly thicker. Macros, when it comes to casein versus whey, are relatively similar, so you pretty much can exchange them one for one, or you could even do 50% of whey and 50% casein. So say you were using 30 grams of protein powder overall, you could do 15 and 50 if you want. But for the best results, especially like pre-bed, using casein is the best. It's the thickest, it turns it into the more satiating and filling sort of paste. Next up is obviously the peanut butter. I prefer Meridian. The reason why is the ingredients are literally just peanuts, rather than having sort of palm oil and dextrose and stuff like that added to it. Let me just make sure I'm right with that one. Yeah, 100% peanuts. So this is always my favorite nut butter for pretty much anything I do. Then obviously water, bowl and spoon, and the most important, especially if you're an RNT client and you're not doing this, weighing scales. You have no excuse not to weigh. It's so easy. If nut butter features on your plan, you'll see capital letters next to it, weighed. That is very important. This is easy to overeat on. Although it's a great food, it will jack up your calorie intake if you don't control it. So I'm going to just stick my bowl on there. Weigh this. That's already zeroed because the bowl was on it prior to weighing it. If you'd already turned the scales on and then put your bowl on, just zero it out. Now the amount that you have is going to be completely person dependent. Somebody on the lighter side might be having 25, 30 grams of protein. I go up to about 60 grams usually. But most people probably want around 30 or 40 grams of it. So all I do is whack that in. So that's at 29. Bang on 51. So 50 grams today suits me. So as I said, any protein powder will work. My chosen one for doing this with is casein. I'm just going to stick that out the way so I don't knock it over. And then all you do is just add some water. It doesn't need a lot. Just some water. Use the back of the spoon. And just get it in there. I'm going to try and work out a way of fast forwarding this bit so you're not watching me needlessly stir this. Hopefully I'll figure out a way on iMovie to speed it up. I'll quickly show you in a second where it's at and what it should look like. So this whole thing takes like literally 90 seconds, 2 minutes. And it's so filling, it kills the sweet cravings. It's great before bed. It means that if you've got a protein powder and nut butter as one of your meals, if you're at work and you're in a rush, of course you can just mix up a protein shake and drink it and have the nut butter separately. If you're at home and maybe before bed, you can make this as almost like a pudding. So you can see right here, the lighting's pretty crap here. Let me turn this one on. So you can see now it's like a thick mousse. So now all I do is stick that back on the scales, re-zero it, which would be this one. Get different spoons. So this is now back at 0. I'm going to have 30 grams of nut butter. Some of my clients on my routines have got 15 grams, 20 grams, 30 grams, and so on. So just see what you need for your fat intake. So I know this seems really basic for some of you, but for those that find weighing a hassle, you can see how easy it is. I put the empty bowl, I zeroed it, I put 50 grams of powder in, I zero it once I've sorted this, and now, so that's 15, 28, 30 grams. Perfect. And now, switch that off. All you do is just repeat the process with stir it in. And you can see, rather than having a shake that takes 30 seconds to down, I've now got, I'm going to switch this light back on, I've now got like a full mousse, thick, pudding-like texture that is really satiating. Keeps you full. Genuinely, if you get the amount of powder to nut butter right, genuinely does really taste like a Snickers. Everyone I've given this to loves it. A tip for you guys, if you are following the typical sort of R&T 5 meal outset, where you would have breakfast, mid-morning, lunch, mid-morning, dinner, you could skip breakfast, do a small fast, and start your meal 1, where your meal 2 would be, pardon me. Instead of meal 5 being dinner, you could push that back, so dinner would be meal 4, and meal 5 could be this. This is awesome pre-bed, but you could even have it middle of the day by your desk. It's going to be a lot more satiating than downing a protein shake. As I said, it was nothing groundbreaking. It's really simple, but not many people do it, and it tastes awesome. So Meridian peanut butter, ON casein, which you can just get from Cardiff Sports Nutrition. Don't forget to enter RNT10 for 10% off. Small amount of water. And the key thing is weigh the bloody food, weigh your scale, weigh your nut butter, weigh your chicken, weigh your whatever you eat, you weigh it.